Hello. Today I'd like to share with you our best thinking as a ministry staff and task force at Murfreesboro First Baptist Church. You should by now have received a written update if you participate in the life and ministries here. I want you to remember that this is a very fluid, continually changing context that we find ourselves in. I don't have to tell you that. We're constantly evaluating when and how we might regather again in our church building. We're also daily assessing how we can do church in the context we are in presently. First, let me say, I'm so grateful for how you are being church during this complicated time. We are worshiping, praying, loving, caring, witnessing, giving, learning, and growing despite our challenging circumstances. Remember, we don't just go to church, we are the church. Like you, we are eager to be back together in the same place. But we want to do so committed to a high quality of experience and safety for all. We want you to know what guides our thinking as we approach the months of June and July, through the summer and going into the fall. First, we are monitoring a variety of news sources and paying close attention to trusted public health officials. We are paying attention to best practices among churches in Rutherford County, in Middle Tennessee, across the state, and across the country. Second, any decision we make is guided by who we are at First Baptist Church, based as clearly as possible on our values and biblical teaching. So what are those values? At First Baptist Church, we care for one another. 2, we care for our neighbors. And 3, we want to protect the weak and the vulnerable. 1, we care for the First Baptist Church community. We are concerned for each and every person's physical well-being and spiritual welfare, as well as the unity of our church fellowship. We are committed to creating the best, most engaging worship experience we can, regardless of setting, be it online or on-site. We care for our neighbors and the broader community. We desire to show compassion for others, to seek the common good, to set a good example. We do not want to be the source of a COVID-19 outbreak in our community in Rutherford County. We don't want to be that church. And 3, we want to protect the weak and the vulnerable. We want to create meaningful, inclusive church experiences that everyone can safely participate in, rather than creating circumstances that would exclude people in high-risk categories or compel them to participate in ways that are likely to be harmful. All of us would love to be back at church with things the way they used to be, back to normal, as we like to say. However, a number of considerations compel us to admit that this is not currently possible. The number of new cases of COVID-19 in Middle Tennessee, it continues to fluctuate rather than decline. Singing spreads the virus at a much greater rate than breathing or speaking, and we're a singing congregation. Keeping children and preschoolers appropriately distanced is very challenging. Churches have been advised against holding any church or children's activities at this time. Our church has many high-risk members as well. Fully half of our membership are high-risk based on age alone, and members of all ages fall into other high-risk categories related to underlying illnesses or immunodeficiencies. The logistical recommendations from public health officials for how to responsibly gather in person, those guidelines that include, the use of face masks, size limits on the gatherings themselves, physical distancing requirements, all of that impedes the quality and unity of our church experience. We believe that given our values as a church, what makes us who we are, and in the midst of present realities, we believe that until our quality of experience can exceed what we're doing now, online, we must continue on this present course. Scripture gives us, we think, direction here when it comes to doing what's best for the whole church body, when it comes for being concerned about the group, not just the individual. In 1 Corinthians, Paul writes that all things are lawful, but not all things are beneficial. We're allowed to do anything, but not everything is helpful. We don't want to seek our own interests, but the interests of others. He continues to say there should be no division in the body. Its parts should have equal concern for each other. That's what we're trying to live into. You know, Scripture consistently teaches us to have a special regard for the weak and the vulnerable. The psalmist says, "Blessed are those who have regard for the weak." So we're going to continue to meet remotely through the month of July. So for June and July, we're going to continue as we've been. Our facilities church office will remain closed during that time. We will continue to monitor the best sources and practices as we move forward. We will remain in continual prayer and discernment, and we're asking you to do the same. You know, the Bible teaches us that we are to focus on the good, on those things that are excellent, Paul says to the church in Philippi. As the hymnist says, we are to count our blessings, and God has blessed us and continues to do so at First Baptist Church in so many different ways. We have had wise leaders in the past who made the decision to begin our live streaming. We do that every Sunday and have been for a number of years. That has positioned us well to adapt quickly to digital worship. We have creative staff and lay leaders who enable us to engage in worship weekly in meaningful ways. We have Bible study leaders faithfully teaching God's Word. We have deacons who are active in maintaining communication with church members. We have generous and faithful stewards who are giving consistently to support the life and ministries of our church. I'm thankful. We're all thankful. We praise God, and as the hymnist says, we name those blessings one by one. So let's continue learning to be content in any and every situation as we seek to spur one another on toward love and good deeds. May God bless our church family, our friends, our neighbors down the street, and around the world. Blessings.